Manually farming in Minecraft Skyblock is a great way to make currency, but what if I told you that you can automatically farm on your island? I assembled all the required materials to make this happen, from obtaining the best robot tier possible, to unlocking the perfect crop for making currency. I managed to make an overpowered setup that you don't want to miss out on. With all of that out of the way, let's begin. So we need to set up automation on our island using robots, while of course using custom recipes in the collection box unit. To give a rundown of the collection box unit before we get into setting up the robots, essentially you get crafting balance and you can get a multiplied amount of it, and the way you get it is by manually farming, killing mobs, or mining ores. And it adds 1 crafting balance depending on your multiplier, so right now I get 3 because I have a 3 times multiplier. But to give a rundown, every time it crafts a single item with the required ingredients, it takes 1 of those balance and uses it to craft the item. So right now we have enchanted cobblestone in here for the time being. That's just kind of been temporary. So today we're either going to be changing this to Torchflower or Nether Wart. And that also reminds me, we do have to get rid of this farm. We're definitely going to need to make this all Nether Wart. If you look in PV4, I do have some farmers already. We have 1 netherite, which is really good, but I would like to go ahead and upgrade it to a Interstellar. And the way we do that is we need all 3 types of netherite: miner, farmer, and grinder. And we're going to do /factory, and we're going to go ahead, put each one in, and now as you can see, we have to wait 1 hour to get a random Interstellar, and if we don't get a farmer, we can quite literally use, I believe, a job token to change it. So it doesn't really matter, but it would be nice if we don't have to use one. So while we're waiting for that, we're definitely going to swap this over to Nether Wart, and then I think somewhere around here, we're going to build inside this area a automated system for farming for our robots, because it needs to be close enough to this collection box unit, and if we have to move it, we can. It's a complete option we can go with. But if you are excited for more Minecraft Skyblock, make sure to leave a like on the video. I'd appreciate it a lot. And one thing I am going to do with my shards real quickly is go ahead and upgrade the capacity from 10,000 all the way to 50,000. I didn't even think it would go that high in one upgrade. So for 150,000 shards, we got an extra 40,000 capacity for items in this collection box unit, which is good. So to make sure we get rid of all the crops here, we're just going to manually farm. Quite literally, we just have to break all the farmland, and then we can use fast place, which is a command. Depending on your rank, you can have a further length of how far it places blocks, which I'll showcase in a bit. We're going to need to go about 48 blocks in each direction with it, and of course you need the blocks in your inventory. And also, one way we get those recipes that I was mentioning is by doing /dungeon or dungeons, depending on when it's available. You can type /next dungeon, and it tells you when it starts. We have one in a minute here roughly, but we can just buy our recipe off the auction house if it's a cheap pricing. Okay, 10,000 shards is actually not bad for Nether Wart, and we do need to get some sort of recipe, so I am going to invest in that. That is definitely a worthy investment in my opinion. We could go in dungeons and try and find Torchflower. I might spend some time doing that in this video, just of course showing off how dungeons works and how you actually get the recipes from dungeons. We do also have around 270 million credits, which if we look in island upgrades, you can upgrade certain things in here with credits and shards. The 2 things I want to upgrade here is crop growth speed and of course the crop sell multiplier, so we can get more money and them to actually grow quicker, which is going to be amazing. So we're going to get both of these upgrades to tier 1. Let's do that really quickly there. And now we only have about 70 million credits, which is not enough for a single upgrade, but at least we have 2 good upgrades that we are going to need. Now that I'm thinking about it, we're definitely going to have to go in dungeons to get fuel for our island generator. It's the best way to get fuel, and essentially the island generator multiplies how quick robots work and spawners spawn mobs. Okay, so I got rid of all the carrots. We are starting to break all the farmland, but I do want to upgrade my boots and get Sprinter 3 to get Speed 3 is essentially what Sprinter is. 30,000 XP, and now we have Sprinter, which is going to help us destroy all these blocks quicker, which is just so nice to have this at all. So I thought I might as well spend the XP on that. Also, let me know down below in the comments if you do like the time lapses in the videos. If you would like to see more of those, let me know. Alright, we pretty much are done with the land here being destroyed. Now we have to go into shop and look for soul sand. There we go. We're gonna buy about this much. So if I type this command FP48, it enables fast place, and we are gonna put our tools away so we have more blocks in our hotbar. But if I place this in, It's already at the other end. So now if I just go ahead and make sure that I place it in every spot properly, we can get this done instantly. /FP off, and there we go, we're done. The only thing we're missing, of course, is the nether wart in the crop section. It's 12,000, almost 13,000 credits for one each, so we're gonna buy like the highest amount in shop, and that'll be good enough. Of course, over time, we'll fill it with spare nether wart. We are gonna sell all the carrots there, 5 million credits. And of course, we're gonna go ahead, swap out our crafting recipe because we don't have level 8 of capacity unlocked, so we have to swap between them when we need to. So we're gonna use nether wart now, which one single one is 250,000, almost 60,000. That is gonna be so good. So with that out of the way, I'm gonna start placing in all the nether wart, get this all filled in, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna start doing some dungeons, I think is what I want to do. So I will give an update here in a moment. But we are able to get our Interstellar robot. If we go ahead and click this, we get one with a random job. Here we go. What did we get? We got grinder. If I'm going to be completely honest, that is not bad. I do want to keep one of these for having a grinding robot in the future. We are just going to make another one because quite literally we can just craft up those two robots and go ahead and craft these guys and wait another hour. But as you can see, we have the full nether wart farm fully planted. And as you can see, we get a ton of enchanted nether wart. So if we sell really quick, we made 100 million credits almost. So of course, with that out of the way, I think we'll get our sell multiplier up just by 1 level to get it to a 2 times multiplier. We'll go ahead and purchase it for 10,000 shards and 100 million credits. There we go. And I completely forgot to mention about dungeons is there's 2 variations. One has a different like chance to actually activate. It's called Eternal Shadows. You need an entry slip, and if you die, you keep all your stuff, but you have to use another slip to get in. So we only have 3 slips if Eternal Shadows does actually happen, which is not great. And one thing we do have is 31 points into the Ores Mastery because we did max out the XP bonus. I am gonna go ahead and get the shard chance up by 3 levels just so we get extra shards, which over time adds up because quite literally there's nothing else to really invest in. Also, we just got our Interstellar from factory and it didn't even take an hour. And if I'm gonna be honest, I think that might be a bug. So if I put in these 3 and we go ahead and check factory. Okay, so it says we actually have to wait an hour, but that was not an hour. From the time I was recording this, it's only been 20 minutes. But either way, we can use a job token on this guy and we're gonna change it to a farmer. So now we got a farmer Interstellar, and also I think the dungeon's open and it wasn't Eternal Shadows, so we are gonna go in there. So as you can see on the scoreboard in dungeons, there is about 300 mobs you need to kill in total to spawn the boss in the dungeon that you have to locate the room for. There's a lot of good loot you can win from the dungeon boss, so I highly recommend trying to attend those. But as you can see, after killing some mobs here, we're getting generator fuel. This is going to help us a ton on our island when we want to go ahead and make a lot of progress with robots and spawners. And the dungeon boss already died and it spawned less than like a minute ago. That's just because everyone already has some really good gear and axes and swords. It's crazy. But here we go. We have a dungeon chest. If we right click it, we get loot. You find them around the map and you can claim them. They do have a cooldown on like how long until they open, but when the dungeon boss is killed, the chests are automatically ready to be opened. So we do need to go ahead and start looking for chests more than killing mobs, if anything. There we go. We have some more chests here. I am gonna eat a god apple. We got 4, so we got a robot, as you can see, a crafting recipe for iron, which we do not need, and we also are getting some more charms. Atomic Energizer speeds up the robot. Haul, which moves items quicker into specific areas in the robot and out of it, I believe. But basically this whole place is a labyrinth and it's generated each time as a different maze that you have to find your way through. So the chests aren't always going to be in the same coordinates every time, which makes the most sense why they would put it that way. And a good way to actually get into a better location is going to spawn and just typing dungeon again, because quite literally it'll take you to random coordinates. So if you want to find more chests, if you're stuck at a really far away location in like a corner, you believe, then you can just go to spawn and solve that problem easily. We did get a storage charm, which is good if you don't put the storage into a collection box unit, which personally I put them always into there, so it doesn't really matter as much, but it's still pretty good to have, I guess. All right, last chest, and we got fuel and shards. I'll take it. So in total, we almost got around 9 stacks of fuel. We are going to be putting that to use here in a moment, because I do want to try out this Interstellar robot and see how it actually works. I don't really know the full full story of how they work exactly. So if you go into the robot by right-clicking it and clicking the charms area, I believe it is, you can put in any charms that are specific towards it. So now we have all our charms in, we have 2.2 million storage. We can even upgrade it on its efficiency, fortune, storage, or logistics, which just moves items quicker. So after a little bit of trial and error, because I did have to figure out why it's not farming this current farmer that we have down, Netherwart is only manual. So honestly, that's a good thing we reached Torchflower. We have to actually set up a farm now. So I think I'm gonna build it above here. So for the collection box unit, I think what I'm going to do is actually move it over to here, because I do want to make sure we have enough room to build things, and we are gonna go up a decent bit of blocks. So what we're gonna do is put down the robot here for the time being to figure out where it actually needs to go and how far it has to actually reach the collection box unit. So after doing a big test run from the head of the robot, it's about 8 blocks to the bottom of the CBU or collection box unit. So that means we are able to go ahead and start building the actual farm that it's going to be farming constantly, and we can go ahead and actually put in the charms again, which is good. So if we go into the robot, you can see it's a 19 by 19 area from the center. I believe it's 19 blocks out, but we don't really have enough room for that, so I think we're just gonna go at about maybe 8 for the time being. All right, we just need to go ahead and till all the land. Time to place in all the seeds. As you can see, it places in multiple at a time, which makes this way easier if I'm gonna be honest. And there we go, we got all the Torchflower seeds down. It's just a matter of them growing and seeing if it's consistent enough to where we don't need to place in even more area and more seeds. We'll see though. We are gonna put in a Hall charm. We're gonna make it a Ultra, so we're gonna combine all the way up to Ultra, and eventually we'll get it to Legendary. This is gonna help move the items into the CBU, which is gonna be good. We need that very, very much. But now what we need is a Torchflower recipe, which is gonna be a difficult task to get. But for now, regular Torchflowers is gonna make a ton of money with this Interstellar farmer. Okay, so it is definitely keeping up from what it seems. They're growing back pretty quickly, so we should be fine. The only downside is this is gonna fill up eventually. We do need to get a legendary Hall charm and hope we don't have to upgrade the logistics in the upgrade section, because I'd rather not do that, but if we have to, then we'll have to do it. So one thing we are actually going to do is take this charm out for the time being and put in the auto sell charm that I had from the start of the series, just so every hour it does sell the loot, and it should go into our island vault, I think. So if we do a /is vault, it's gonna go all into here, and that saves us the hassle of having to sell every hour, which is good. So I wanted to give a quick update on how things are working with the Interstellar farmer or robot. It's going amazing so far, and we do have a ton of shards that I grinded out as well as XP that we are going to go ahead and spend. The first thing we're going to do is upgrade the capacity in our collection box unit for 200,000 shards. Get that to 100,000 capacity in total. That's going to be very, very useful, and eventually when we do hit level 8 on capacity, we do get an extra slot here for our auto crafting recipes, which is gonna be good. And another thing we do need to do is spend our mastery points that we have been getting from farming Netherwart and everything else, because Netherwart apparently gives you 9 points, as you can see, every time you complete a tier, so that is very good. So we're gonna spend that onto Torchflower, and I think we'll go into Cell Multiplier for the first one, and then we'll do it again and again, so that is 3 levels. So it's currently a 2.5 times multiplier. And we're also going to be getting bonus crafting, because this will get us extra Torchflowers that are enchanted when we have the recipe. Currently it's a 0%. If we get this, we get it 1% at a time. So the main ones you kind of want are either Crop Fortune, Cell Multiplier, or bonus crafting. And there is a Torchflower recipe on AH for 5 coins. We are going to buy it because 5 coins is literally nothing. And we're going to swap it out for our Netherwart currently because it's not really an issue. We need to actually be crafting the Torchflowers, which is more important, so we'll swap this in, and now we should be getting even more loot transferred over to here, and that means we can take out the charm that we put in for auto sell, and instead of using the renewer charm, we're gonna use the golden farmer, just so then every hour we actually get a 7x7 area, so almost this full area will get harvested every hour, which does add up over time. Quite literally, I think it's better than the renewer charm long term, because we're only only using one of these currently, and of course we'll keep our netherwart recipe for the time being. And as I said, we were gonna enchant some of our armor. We're gonna get heavyweights maxed out, 75,000 XP, and then what else can we get? So the next enchant we're gonna get is maneuver, which dodges attacks. We're gonna get 100 levels into that, 500,000 XP. That is all we can get. Pretty convenient that it puts it at 100. So what I'm gonna have to do is try and get a lot of fuel off camera, so then we can get a lot more credits for island upgrades in the future. And of course, in the future, we're gonna have to get a legendary hull charm, which we just need another ultra or just a legendary that we can replace it with, which won't be difficult either. But that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video. I do appreciate all the support, and I will see you all in the next one.